Hello everyone, this is Lord Kurnion and I am here with another battle report. This is round 2 of the Brawler Bash tournament. I know everyone in the world has gotten their reports out except for me and Malasar. Sorry, we're both pretty busy this time of year, but hopefully these reports will be worth the wait. Anyway, let's dive right in. So this is my list if you haven't seen it before. And here is my opponent's list. He is rocking out Lizardmen. He has an Old Blood on a Carnosaur with a 4-up ward and the Ogre Blade, a Slan level 4, Lore Master High and stuff. I think he had the channeling ability. I forget what those are called. I don't know Lizardmen nearly well enough, guys, just for the record. So he was channeling a lot, and he channeled like 3 times, and on a 5+ he got it, something along those lines. He had Teto Echo, 2 Ripperdactyl Riders with a 2-up armor save and a 2-up ward versus fire. These are the hero level. He has a unit of 32 Skink Cohort with 3 Croc Scores and full command and core. He also had a unit of 10 Skink Skirmishers, another 10 Skink Cohort, and 16 Saurus with full command. He also had a Bastillodon, which is awesome, 5 Ripperdactyls, 4 Salamanders, and 5 Cold One Cav with full command. So, going into deployment, we have, going left to right, his Ripperdactyl Riders, both of them kind of hanging out there with his General on a Carnosaur. He then had his Salamanders, 4 of them. He had a unit of 5 Cold Ones, then he had his Bastillodon, his 10 Skink Skirmishers, his Saurus with the Slan. He had his Skink Cohort with Teto Echo kind of hanging out near them. He had another unit of 10 Skink Cohort, and then the Ripperdactyls on the far flank. So, here's how I lined up across from him. I have on this far flank a Tuskor Chariot. Right behind that building, I have my first Hell Cannon, then a Skull Cannon, 10 Furies, 6 Nurgle Ogres, 20 Warriors of Nurgle with my Minotaur on a Flying Carpet and 3-up ward save, Doombolt behind him, BSB is next to him as well. Then I have my other Tuskor Chariot, my unit of Marauders with my General behind that. And I have onto the far side my second Hell Cannon and my second Skull Cannon. The thing that he marked for his Ripperdactyls is my Skull Cannon to the right. Yes, right. He marked the one to my right. So, with that and with Teto Echo's... Yep, and yeah, so you could kind of see here what he was trying to do with the Ripperdactyls and the Carnosaur kind of barreling down this flank using the hill, and the impassable, that brown thing in the middle of the board was being treated as impassable in this. It's not another hill, it's another piece of impassable. So he's going to use that to try to block some cannonballs, and hopefully try to turn my flank, I guess is what he's trying to do. He has those 2 riders that have a 2-up ward versus fire, and they're monstrous cavalry, so they'll stop the cannonball for the Lord. I guess that's what he's going for. So, given that he has a bunch of fast cav, and he has Teto Echo, and I think he also played the Vanguard card, he had 1.5 million Vanguards. So everything in the world Vanguarded. Both these characters did. He picked his General as one of Teto Echo's roles. Or maybe that was for the scenario one. I don't know, it didn't matter. He also rolled a couple more. The Salamanders got to Vanguard, and so did the Ripperdactyls. A couple other things Vanguarded. Everybody was Vanguarding. It was crazy. Everything was moving up 12 inches before the game started. He went and won the roll-off first turn, so the first thing he did is he ran the Rippers all the way over here, behind my Tuskor, so nothing could charge it, and he's looking at the rear of my Skull Cannon. Pretty good move. Over here on the other flank, he flies everything up, puts both Ripperdactyls kind of in a row there to block any cannon attempts to punk his Carnosaur Rider, which is fair. And then otherwise everything moves up to get even. Salamanders didn't really move much after their Vanguard. I forget why, but they didn't. So they just kind of redressed the battle line, and everything kind of moved up. So we go to Magic Phase, and I forget what he rolled. I forget what the wins were, but basically he got a Comet off. Nothing I could do about it. He rolled really high, and I didn't have enough dice, and I don't have a scroll. So there it goes. Comet's down. He did a boosted Comet, and so this is going to cause a whole lot of damage. That guy okay, so I didn't mention this from the start of it. So the scenario for this round is there is in the middle of the table, there's basically like a Russian doll. And so you kill one and the next one pops up, and you get victory points for killing it. and otherwise it doesn't do anything, but it will attack you back if you try to damage it at range or if you fight it in combat. The first one is Gary Busey. He has the stats of a Lord of Change, and he counts as a Demon of Tzeentch. Second one is Mel Gibson, and he has the stats of a Flamer of Tzeentch. Third one is, he has the stats of a Screamer of Tzeentch. Third one is Tom Cruise, and he has the stats of a Flamer of Tzeentch, and you get different victory points for killing those. If you don't kill them in the first round, you bounce back an inch as if it were a building. But if you kill them, you also bounce back an inch, and the next one in line pops up. And you can't overrun past the character in the middle of the board until after the third one is dead. So that's kind of like a killing piece of impassable terrain in the middle of the table that fights on both sides, which is pretty cool. So otherwise, other than the comment, he didn't get anything off, and shooting, he's 2 out of range for his blowpipes. So we go to Legion of Chaos turn 1. And yeah, I don't think he was expecting me to do this. Apparently not many people charge with their skull cannons. Apparently I'm unique in that I charge with my skull cannons. Like, oh great, I have amazing chariot here. Of course I'm going to charge with it. So I charged here, and he was kind of like, huh, guess I didn't see that happening. So I charged into the first one. He couldn't really flee because then he'd be bouncing through his general and off the board, and I lined it up so that my overrun would take me into the second one. So I'm going to clear both of those guys pretty easily, which is nice. Over here, the Tuskor Chariot tried its charge at the Skink cohort. Fortunately, his stand and shoot didn't do any damage, but I fell short. Oh well. The Furies that were there jump up behind this building, so this is a move that I love doing with Furies. If he tries to shoot at me with his Skinks, I am behind hard cover because he can only see the 2 models, but I can see him, and because I fly, I can fly over. So I can charge him, and I have hard cover for him shooting. I love doing this with flying units. It's a great move. As you might expect, my skull cannon over here wheels to face towards the Carnosaur. Something really entertaining happened. So as you know, I have 2 hell cannons. And if you look, the hell cannon on this side, on this flank, is facing towards the board edge, facing towards where his Ripperdactyls were. So I was rolling for the Angry Cannon test, and I was like, oh, it'd be really funny if I failed this. And I promptly rolled a 10. So I failed the Angry Cannon test, I was out of BSB range. He rampages, goes towards his nearest enemy unit, which happened to be the Ripperdactyls that were behind my line, and I rolled high enough to get into him, which was just kind of like, he just looked at me like, seriously? That just happened? That just happened. So I got the free charge into the Rippers. We were both kind of laughing about that. It was kind of amusing, but a lot of good luck on my part there. Never thought failing a leadership test would be a good thing, but hey, sometimes it is. Otherwise, things could kind of shuffle. I'm trying to stay out of comet range. I think a couple things backed up. My warriors and my chariot backed up a little bit, but nothing else really happened. My hell cannon that could shoot, it drifted off of whatever it was aiming at. And the skull cannon took a shot at the Carnosaur. It didn't do, he warded on the rider, and it hit the monster, and it did like 2 or 3 wounds or something. So we go to combat, and here the skull cannon on impact hits kills the first bird and overruns into the second one, which is great. And then over here, the hell cannon makes short work of the Ripperdactyls, which is kind of, like I said, ridiculously lucky, and I'll take it. Yep, and there he is killing the bird. So we got a Lizard's turn 2, and he charges his Cold Ones into Gary Busey. Otherwise, everything just kind of continues to move up. Oh, and he also charges Salamanders into my Marauders that are in the woods, which I was kind of looking at that. It's like, oh, crap, yeah, I'm in the woods. I'm not steadfast anymore. Huh, how about that? But, oh well, I mean, they're there to die, and I don't lose anything by having them die in this game, so don't really care. These guys kind of moved up to shoot. And at the end of combat, yeah, he left Gary Busey on 1 wound remaining, but otherwise Gary Busey is alive, and he bounced back an inch. Gary Busey was able to kill 1 of these Cold One Riders in return. And then here he killed a couple guys, but I did a good number of wounds back. I was within general range and BSB range, so I was able to stand despite the fact that I don't have steadfast, which is pretty lucky on my part. And then over here, impact hits once again kill the bird. He had charged in with his Carnosaur into my skull cannon. I was a little careless with the way I aligned it on my overrun, and he was able to get a corner, which was my mistake, stupid move. So he was able to get his Carnosaur into my skull cannon. Problem is he then whiffed completely. Now, you would be like, hey, how is this a problem? Your skull cannon's still alive. Well, that means my other cannon can't shoot at him, which is what I want. So, really unlucky here that he was completely whiffed and my skull cannon's still alive, so now his guy is covered from another round of shooting. To go to Legion's Chaos turn 2, the Furies charge from behind the woods, from behind the building. He stands and shoots, doesn't do anything. The Chariot also goes in for good measure, because why not? And then here the other Chariot joins in against the Salamanders to lend a helping hand. The Minotaur failed his frenzy test and tried to charge into the, what's it called? Charge into the Cold Ones, and he failed. He rolled pretty crap. I think he needed like an 11 or 12 anyway, so it wasn't that great to fail a frenzy test. Otherwise, things kind of move around. My BSB kind of backs up a little bit and aims to take a line on the on his general if he starts overrunning. I am about 12 inches behind the skull cannon, so if he charges the skull cannon and overruns, he needs to roll boxcars to get to me. Well. Here at the end of combat, I only have 4 guys left, but the impact hits did enough to make it so that I didn't lose combat that much, and my Marauders stand for another round, which is nice. You'll notice that the comet is still there. Tedo Echo can re-roll the ability of when the comet comes down, so we've just kind of been keeping it up, and so now this thing has something like 6 counters on it. Yeah, so it's going to be devastating when it comes down. The Furies and the Chariot made short work of the Skink cohort here, and the Furies overran. Finally, the Carnosaur stopped messing around and he killed the Skull Cannon, which I wish that didn't happen. Then we had another round of shooting, but oh well. So we go to Lizard's turn 3. And now that his Carnosaur is free, he charges the flank of the Hell Cannon. The Saurus Cab go back into Gary Busey. And the Skinks come down and try to chaff up my Chaos Warriors and my Ogres, Nurgle Ogres. Otherwise, everything kind of moves up. Right. Yep, there's a picture of him moving up, turns out. I don't know why I'm doing this. Oh, yeah, and so the magic phase, and he's like, I think the comet should, time for the comet to come down. The comet comes down, kills my Chariot, kills the rest of my Marauders, kills 2 of his Salamanders, only does a couple wounds to the Warriors, thank God, and it kills 9 out of 10 of that Skink cohort that's hanging out there, so pretty devastating comet there. There it is. The Carnosaur killed the Hell Cannon on the charge. The Carnosaur itself does D3 wounds for every wound it does, so it's pretty devastating. It was able to get enough wounds by. I wasn't able to save enough, and he rolled the boxcars he needed for the overrun to get into my BSB, which is like, oh, you're kidding me. Careless mistake on my part. I should have made sure I was outside of 12 inches, not inside of 12 inches. A little careless with the movement there, so that was my mistake. Go to Legion of Chaos turn 3. Everything starts moving up now that the comet is down. The Doom Bull charged the what is remaining, which I think it's just I think it's down to Tom Cruise now. I think we have killed Gary Busey. I killed Gary Busey and then he charged it into Mel Gibson, killed Mel Gibson last turn, and now my Minotaur charged into Tom Cruise to kill him. Everything kind of moves around here on the flank. We go to shooting. Magic was uneventful. I haven't been able to get any spells off this game at all. He's just kind of been really, really successful at stopping me. So we go to shooting. I put a cannonball through the what's this thing? The whatever this big lizard thing is. Bastiladon. I put it through a Bastiladon and I do 3 out of his 4 wounds. Oh well. Didn't quite kill it, and with Apotheosis, he can always bring the thing back up to health, which he's going to do, so it's going to take me a while to kill this Bastiladon. The Minotaur kills Tom Cruise and overruns, now that it's the last guy, he's allowed to overrun, so he overruns into the Cold One Cav. And then here, oh my god. So his Carnosaur gets 1 wound through on my BSB. I have a 3-up reroll 1s. I roll exactly 1, 2. He rolls D3 wounds and rolls 2 wounds. It's like, okay, so I at least get to survive a little bit. Then his Rider attacks. Rider gets 1 wound. He gets like 1 or 2 wounds through my toughness and through my armor. So it's like, okay, 3 up reroll 1s. I roll another 2. My guy goes down. It's like, oh, you're kidding me. So that was a little unfortunate to fail 2 3-up ward saves out of 3. Yeah. So he overruns off the board. We have Lizardmen turn 4, whatever it is. And yeah, he charges the flank of my Minotaur with his Skinks. And otherwise, this guy comes back on the board and starts lining up towards my Demon Prince. I don't know what this is showing. Something happened. Okay, so then the Salamanders shoot, and they peel about a little less than a rank off my Chaos Warriors and do a couple wounds to my Ogres. Combat, my Minotaur just focuses on swinging at the Skinks and does enough wounds to be able to stand on his break test, which was nice. So now it's my turn, Legion Chaos turn 4. I send the reserves in to rescue the Minotaur. The Chaos Warriors go into the flank of the Skinks, and my Demon Prince charges into the Saurus Cav, hoping to kill them and overrun the Bastillodon. I also tried for a longbow charge with my Nurgle Ogres into his bunker. He has Teto Echo and the Slan there, so I'm going to pump all of my attacks into the characters and hope to get lucky and kill one. I have 3 Nurgle Ogres attacking the Slan, and I have 2 attacking Teto Echo, so we're going to see if I can kill one. Shooting phase, I am able to finally hit the Carnosaur again, and I do enough wounds to it to drop it. He's able to ward save the cannonball hit on the Rider again, so he was able to do that twice, and so he kind of comes down and he has no wounds on him. So we go to combat. My Nurgle Ogres pop Teto Echo. They do 2 or 3 wounds to the Slan, but they end up losing combat and they break and are run down. In the combat against the cohort, not much happened. Yeah, you can see it kind of in this picture. The Doom Bull and the Demon Prince are able to account for the rest of the Saurus Cavs, so my Demon Prince is allowed to overrun, which is great. Otherwise, I do a couple of wounds. He is still steadfast because of the salamander shots that took out my rank of warriors, and yeah, he stands. So now we go to Lizard's turn 5. He charges his general into the rear of my Chaos Warriors. Fortunately, I still have a unit champion there to challenge. Then he also sends the salamanders into the flank of my warriors. So writing's on the wall for this unit probably, but we'll see what happens. These guys try a long charge at my Skull Cannon's flank, and they fall short. So fortunately for that. Oh, and here, yeah, I didn't get a picture of this before. So the special ability of the Slan, of the high magic attribute, is he can choose to change his spells. So he changed his spells for a Lore of Undeath spell, and between last turn and this turn, he was able to raise 2 caskets. The Carnosaur there is just another casket of souls that he was able to raise. So he raised 2 of them, and they're just kind of sitting there. I let him do the Carnosaur as a proxy because I don't really care. So yeah, that's why he has 2 caskets of souls sitting on the table, because he was able to change it from lore attribute. Here, it goes predictably badly. I kill a good number of Skinks. His general kills my unit champion, pretty handily actually. And yeah, when the dust settles, I lose combat by a lot. I break. He doesn't catch the warriors, but there's only 2 left. And he also doesn't catch the Doom Bull, who is apparently very determined to get away. And he rolled something like a 10 or 11 or something ridiculous. So we go to my turn? Yeah, we go to my turn. And yeah, he was able to kill my warriors, failed to rally, and they ran off the board. I rolled like an 11 or 12 to get them off. Yeah. And yeah, my Demon Prince was unable to kill the Bastillodon last turn, so he's still kind of hanging out there. The Doom Bull was able to rally, which is nice. And my Skull Cannon decides to move a little bit further down the board to get away from his Saurus to prevent them from charging him. And he lines up a shot at my opponent's general. Then we go to the shooting phase, and I misfire. Killing me. So you misfire 1, and he blows up. So we go to Lizard's turn 6, kind of getting towards the end of the game. He kind of moves everything up. There's kind of not going to be easy for him to get many points left. I only have left is a Doom Bull, a Demon Prince, and a Hell Cannon left on the table. And that's really all he does. He just kind of move up towards me. So we go to Legion of Chaos turn 6, and I try a heroic charge with my Doom Bull into his general, trying to finally finish him off. My Doom Bull has, I think, 3 wounds remaining. And my Demon Prince goes into the Skink cohort to try to assassinate the level 1 Heavens that's kind of tacked on the side of the board. Or it's tacked on the side of the unit of Skinks. I also tried charging with my Hell Cannon into his Saurus, into the flank, trying to get points for his Slan, but I fell short on the charge. Oh well. So then we go to combat, and yeah, his general is able to do the last 3 wounds to my to my Doom Bull, so he drops before he gets to swing, which sucks. But my general is able to kill his Skink and not die. So end of the game, I think I got like 2,500 points-ish, which is not good at all, actually. I left way too much on the table. My opponent got not that much better. He got like about 3K flat, maybe 3.5. But I mean, neither of us had a great game out of this. It wasn't a bad game. It was a fun game. It actually got one of my votes for best game of the tournament. Extraordinarily fun. A lot of really funny things happening, like the Hell Cannon failing the Rampage test. But yeah, no, just from a tournament standing perspective, it was not a very good game in that respect, but an absolutely fun game, and I'd happily play this opponent again. So yeah, so that's the report. I hope you'd enjoyed it. I will hope to get the rest of the Brawler Bash games up within the next week. And for those of you that are fans of the Mono Demons of Khorne, I'm actually playing in a Fluffhammer tournament tomorrow, which is Swedish Comp 15+. And so I'm bringing out the Demons of Mono Khorne again, see how I do with them. So expect some reports for those as well. And yeah, anyway, hope you enjoyed the report. Have a good one.